to the junior, she'd have to go 5.4, which, by the way, she skied 6. So Megan, this isn't out of reach for her if she decides she is going to make a push for the finals, which I'd be surprised. Looking at these water conditions, looking at, you just pointed out she was warming up over there, getting a jog in. I think she's. We see her on the dock over there. Is
No, not sure. Just gonna see if we can request some information. Otherwise, we're probably spreading bad news here.
Yeah, we got the live numbers here, so I have some confidence here. I think they've updated these from these re-rides. The scores we're seeing here are live from the re-rides now. We just don't have a Sammy Eaton score. So once you pop that in.
Somebody, can you call the announcer? We're trying to get some credible information about what the situation is.
Basically, what Sammy Eaton's score is what we need.
Yeah, but like, is that a girl getting ready to ski, or is this thing?
No, I don't see anybody out there.
Yeah, there's somebody behind foot.
Where? On the dock or on shore?
No, behind foot on the dock. Yeah, we may request here at the announcer's stand if somebody in the officials area can call us to give us an update on the status and maybe a running order for the next event.
If you look at your running orders, we are running right now senior men's Series 2 slaloms from earlier, and then after that it will be senior men's Series 1 slalom.
Okay, thank you. It sounds like we're going to be running Series 2 men's slalom in the order that they came off the dock in the elimination round, and then Series 1 slalom in the order that they came off the dock in their round. So it looks like we're done on the girls slalom there, Gus, apparently. So we're going to have, first up off the dock, wow. First up off the dock, Gustavo Serrano from Mexico. And the girls slalom looks like it's a wrap up, and we're just going to wait to find out the last scores. Looks like it just maybe refreshing.
Yeah, we're still not seeing that score for Sammy Eaton. So we got right now still showing Megan Adams with a 5.2 in the 8th position, but no score for Sammy Eaton. So I think we heard that was 5 over 5, so it's going to be close.
Anyway, apologies if the information was a little confusing there in that round. We were unable to get running order.
Chiara? Yes.
She had a 5.7. She's in the finals.
Chiara?
Yeah.
Matilde?
No, Matilda didn't make it.
Sì, ha detto 5.7. Chiara?
5.1 from Matilda.
Chiara?
No, she.
Oh, yeah. Nice job. You're in. Yeah.
And
You made it.
Matilde? Oh,
You're
yes.
6. Yeah.
And
you're in.
Matilde 5.1. No. Sì.
No, that's not going to make it.
Matilda, no. 5.1 is number 9.
I think
No.
Sammy
Yeah.
Eaton.
Ma è il contrario, ci credo. Ma non è il
Oh.
contrario,
That's necklace.
What do you got? We better try to get better information here. I'm going to write down the score they got. I think Megan might have screwed up and not. Maybe she should have passed.
I feel bad for Matilda. She was in.
And I think they should have made them ski in the order they came off the dock in the first round.
Yeah.
They should have, because they were just.
Yeah.
And Emma went out and.
I agree.
And Megan would have, okay, I got to make a decision right now. Where do I go
Or do I want to push it? That's why you had seating.
All right. Redo for Senior Men's Slalom Series 2. On the water now from Mexico, Gustavo Serrano. Can you pull up like the men's and I'll try to relate what the...
This would be men's. Do they have it?
So So there's Gustavo Serrano from Mexico up for his opening pass.
Yeah, I don't even see it.
There he is. He's up. And he's coming into the course frontwards on 2 feet. There's 2 crossings. Cross for number 3. Here's number 4. Cross for 5. And about 5.5 crossings on his first pass. What would be a huge help to us here in the announcer stand if somebody could run us up the elimination round results for this event, the results before the re-ride, that would be great. If somebody could make us a copy, run it up to the announcer stand, that would help out greatly in this event.
Think back to what the cutoff was there. Did I save the page? No. Yeah, I don't think we can. Wait a minute. You know what? I bet I can find it here. I think it might be.
98 in this first round.
Here, let me see if I can find it here.
Do we have a preliminary score for Gustavo?
Yep, I was just building the anticipation. It is 2.6, 2.6.
Beautiful, 2.6. There's a preliminary score for Gustavo on his first pass of 2.6. That is much better than his preliminary score from the first round of 1.9. So he's added on a 0.7 from.
That's it. You have a computer in front of you. Go to the IWWF live results page. It gives you the current scores that they had from the round before, and when they get
No,
a
it
new
doesn't.
score, we update it once the score sheet is done in.
Not for senior slalom men's.
Yeah, we can't see. Apologize, but we can't see the senior slalom. And here's Gustavo Serrano coming in, second pass. He's up. Bit of a hairy start there, but he is up and getting ready to cruise into the wake. And there it is, coming back at the wake. There's 1 coming across for 2. Number 3 almost looked like he was going to lift a foot there, coming across for. Oh, fell on number 4 right in the middle of the wake. Getting about a 3.5, 3.3 maybe.
It now. Sorry, just let me know if you don't see it. That's the other one.
Okay, now we do see it. Thank you for refreshing. It's showing up live here.
Yeah, I was waiting to enter someone else's score. Thank you.
Okay, so we've got the current standings for the senior men's preliminary round slalom. Again, Fred Groen with that 8.4 was the cutoff, or excuse me, we're taking 8, right? 8. Yeah, so 8. We've. Okay, so we just had a 3.03 for Gustavo. It's an improvement over a score, but the cutoff is going to be a 12.3. Right now, where we have a tie between Rob Groen and Gordy Croteau. How come we didn't ski that off?
What do you mean ski it
Well, this was a tie at the A spot, so we should have had Gordy and Rob ski that off, and we never did. I mean,
I thought there's somebody missing there.
well,
We didn't have.
yeah, but they got it in now. I think we were missing. What was it?
3 quarters.
Yeah. So we got to make sure.
Well, you know, I guess they realized, like, as soon as Brett was done, that the rope was wrong, so maybe they got into that.
We'll have to make sure if there's a ski off that it gets done. But
So on the water here, I think we got Dennis Anderson from Sweden, and he had a score of 6.63 originally. Looking to improve his score on this shorter rope, and there he is going in for 1. There's a 1 foot cross, nice and high, nice and clean. There's a second 1 foot cross. There's 3 on 1, 4 on 1, 5 clean 1-foot crosses. It's probably in about time there. Maybe 5 on 1 and 1 on 2 sort of thing. We'll wait for the boat score to come in. He had a 6.63 in the first round. I think we're going to consistently see these guys get better scores throughout this round than they did the first time.
Yeah, again, it's looking like you got to get better than a 12.3 to get in, so we'll keep an eye on that. There's some skiers that were, namely Willie Farrell with a 12.2. He was 1/100th of a point of getting in, so I'm guessing we'll see him back on the dock down there. And then there's a little bit of a gap between the other ones, but as we talked about, guys like Don Schwartz, Fred Groen, Doug Jordan, Bevan Kelly, those guys they can easily get over 12. So there could be some shuffling here in this group.
So we'll wait for that preliminary score for Dennis.
Preliminary for Dennis Anderson, very preliminary, 4.5, 4.5.
That's a 4.5 preliminary score for Dennis Anderson. So he's got a chance of improving his score from first round, which was a 6.63 to a 4.5 preliminary. There's Dennis Anderson up and outside the wake. He looks like he likes doing that 2-foot cross to warm up, and then he gets into his 1-footers, and there's the 1-footer. Cross for another. Looks like it's clean. Here's number 3, 4, 5 on 1. Not so sure I'm getting that right, but it looked like he did 5 on 1 and 1 on 2. We'll wait for the boat score. of Dennis Anderson. Looked like he probably improved his score from the first go-around. His score was 6.63. Got a 4.5 in his first pass.
Looks like Paul Turner, next guy on the water.
Paul had a 7.9 in his first go-around. Definitely, I don't think Paul's definitely capable of getting better than that. We're still waiting for perhaps a score for 6.5 for Dennis Anderson. 6.5, a little bit lower than his first go-around score of a 6.63.
Andy Harris, please report to the boat area. Andy Harris, please report to the boat down at the starting dock.
Here's Paul Turner in gear for his second go-around. He got a 7.9 total score his first go-around. Outside the wake and up. There he goes for a 1-foot cross, coming back for 2. Cross for 3. There's number 4. There's 5 nice clean 1-footers. Here's number 6. Well, we got spots. Could be a 5.2. So next up in the original starting order was Marcel Brunet from Canada. Looks like he's on the dock. Give himself a second go. Marcel, early fall, getting a 7.2, capable of getting up in the 12 range. Paul Turner, first pass in, looked to be about a 5.5 maybe. which I think, Gus, this would be the final event of the day for today once all the dust is settled on this. Looks at 6.2 for Paul Turner. He's going to definitely improve his score should he, hang on to the handle and stand this pass. Hit a 7.9 in the first time round.
Yeah, that's a big improvement there for Paul. He just needs a couple of crosses here in his back pass, and he's going to rise above his previous round score, or the re-ride score is going to surpass the previous score that he skied here earlier today.
So there's Paul up in the back deep, outside the wake, getting stable, and here's going for the cross. That's a 2-foot cross. First one on 2, second one on 2. Looks like he might just manage 2-foot crosses. That's 3. Coming across for 4. 5 on 2. Maybe a 5.1. I'll give him on 2.
I think a 5 in transition there, so he's going to have.
I get a 6.2 plus a 2.5 or so.
Yeah.
So he's 8.7 or so.
Yeah, that's a nice. That bump him up like 3-4 spots into the number 12 spot. Probably.
Sorry, can you say that again? We barely had the volume on there.
Did you guys get that? 8.8 for Paul Turner.
8.8 for Paul Turner. Great improvement from the first round of 7.9. So 8.8 for Paul Turner.
Yeah, picking up about a full point there, and what that does is ties him up there in the 11th spot with Don Schwartz. So still not enough to get into the finals, but nice to go out and end the day with a better score. So we're still sitting there with a 12.3 is the number you got to hit in order to get into the next round.
So Marcel Brunet from Canada on the water, looking to challenge that finals in the senior men's slalom. Go Canada. The rope is tight. There's the okay. Marcel Brunet from Canada. Going to chase that 12.3. See if he can push that finals entry. He's up and outside the wake. Got that handle nice and low, and there he goes. That's 1. Here's number 2, nice and clean. That's 3. Cross for 4. All clean so far. That's 5. He's got 6. He's got about a 6.2. I recall that being what he had the first round on his second pass, I believe. We'll see. That's a 6.2 for Marcel Brunet. Wait for the confirmation from the boat.
Yeah, he had a 7.2 in the earlier round today that he's trying to top at the re-ride here. So 6.2, yeah, that looked like a nice run for Marcel Brunet. He should easily surpass where he's at. Is he doing the back 1-foot crosses?
Yeah, he does the back 1-foot crosses. If you recall, Gus had a fall there coming back on the back pass. Nice clean front run. Fell on the first time around. So he's looking to.
6.2.
Yeah, there's a 6.2 for his first pass. So he's looking to do a nice clean pass of 1-footers. He can do 6 easy. He gets 6, that's 12.2. He pushes it into like a 6.2. He might be challenging that final spot right now that's set at 12.3.
Yeah, if he gets a 6.2 in this next pass, he's in. He's depending on what we get for other individuals electing to take the re-ride, that would put him above the guys that are in the ski-off position for 8 right now. Gordy Croteau and Rob Groen are both at 12.3. So he's well within capability here, striking distance with his last pass in front of him.
Yeah, so there's the back deep for Marcel Brunet from Canada. Okay, Team Canada, Marcel Brunet coming in the course, cutting across for number 1. Beautiful 1-foot cross. There he has number 2, nice and clean. Here's 3. Number 4, nice and high, nice and clean. Here's number 5. Gets the turn. Gets about a 5.6.
Going to come up just a little short there. I was watching that pretty closely. Getting a little tense here. Pretty exciting when you know what you got to beat, and you get through 5 and you're almost through, and I'm thinking, come on, you can get it. You can get 6. Come on, you're gonna push it and make it in, and looked like he just didn't get quite to a full 6. So just going to come up on the short end of the stick with this one, I think.
Yep, Marcel Brunet somewhere around 11 plus probably. Wait for the boat score.
But a heck of an effort. He's going to add 4 full points to his previous score, and he's got to be happy about that.
Yeah. That's an 11.8 preliminary score for Marcel Brunet. Improved the score for the overall, Gus. He there's that in there for him, obviously. Got drastically improved for the overall. Probably not going to make the finals. There's a game changer we haven't thought of. What if some of these guys decide, I'm going to try to get my slalom score up a little higher for the overall because they had a bad pass, and they actually don't do better, and they fall out of the final.
Yeah. We didn't see that with the junior girls. Every one of the girls that went out in the previous group improved their scores, some better than others. And, this whole thing here, this is kind of a little interesting exercise in and of itself that, there's a lot of the thing of it is in this sport.
Here we go with Don. Sorry to interrupt. Canada. Don Schwartz is on the water. Team Canada coming in the pass forwards. Andy Harris to the officials area. Here's Don Schwartz coming across for number 1. Number 2, nice and clean. Here's the third 1-foot cross. There's the 1-foot cross. There's 6. Might have been up to a 7. I'm not sure. Kind of lost count.
Yeah, I think it was around 7 when the alarm went off there. That was a pretty solid run there.
That would have been That would have been better than his first go-around.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was 6'2" the first go-around. If that was a 7, he's improved.
Yeah, and he scored an 8.8. So if he's sitting at a 7, Don Schwartz, here's a guy right there, a 7. If he can put up 5 back ones, boom. He's going to be
He's in the hunt.
Moving into the final. So right on another guy right here that set up with 1 pass to go to maybe shuffle up the running order here for the next round.
So the junior girls slalom results are posted. Junior girls slalom results are posted. We got Andy Harris to the officials area. Hopefully he made it down there, but that was a call for Andy Harris to get down to the officials area. So Don Schwartz waiting for his preliminary score. Yeah, I believe we heard a 6.8 for Don Schwartz on that first pass. 6.8. He does 6 here, Gus. He ends up with a 12.8. And guess what?
Yeah, he's definitely, and that would push him all the way up to the 8th spot. Again, that's where you want to be, right? Or no, that would push him into the 7th spot. So he's definitely got a shot at getting into the finals here with a good solid pass.
There's Don Schwartz coming in backwards, looking to be clean here, cutting out, crossed the wake there. First cross he touched on. Second cross is up. He's got a good clean second. Here's number 3. He's good. Coming across for 4. 4, he might have had a touch. We'll go across for 5. 5 was iffy here. Number 6, cross. It goes off at about 5.8. A couple of questionable crosses, unfortunately, in that pass.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be enough to get him past the cutoff here, but definitely an improvement where he skied earlier today. So, again, good solid skier. It's definitely going to help his scores for the overall here in the senior men's division.
Yes, indeed. That is an improvement over his preliminary round score. We're waiting for that score to come in. Yeah, maybe he's hurt. Oh, no, he hasn't come up in the list yet. They're going in the running order. Well, we've got some information, bravo, here. It's 12.4 for Don Schwartz, so this just changed the game. Don Schwartz now, if nobody else improves, has got a score that would get into the next round. But Rob Groen, we see, is down on the dock.
Yeah.
It looks like Jim Nyberg, he may have said, no, I'm not going to go again. I'm going to keep my score from the first round, which was a 14.8. And he's going to sit on that, it looks like. Let's see if that gets him through.
That's a pretty solid score for Jim Nyberg, but I'll tell you what, that score there by Don Schwartz, that bumps out the ski-off situation for Gordy Croteau and Robbie Groen. And Robbie Groen, he cracked out his crystal ball. He saw that coming. He's in the water right now. He knows he's got to come out and now reclaim a spot in the final. So here it is.
Here's Robbie Groen from New Zealand.
12.4 is the number to make. You got to beat that or tie it.
So Robbie Groen, New Zealand, coming in the course, redoing his run. Here we go, nice and high. There's a 1-footer. Here's number 2, coming across for 3. Number 4, coming across for 5. Here's a 6. Did he get a 7? He's got a 7.2 there. Rob Groen, New Zealand, 7.2. He had a 6.1 originally on the extended rope. So it looks like perhaps we're not going to see Cameron Smith. He probably still got that hamstring pull. So Rob Groen now looking to challenge that 12.4 that was put out by Don Schwartz. That's a 7.2 for Rob Groen, first pass. Not too sure how many of these guys are going to take advantage of the redo run, but we're coming almost to a close of this Series 2 redo with Robbie Groen on the water. You know, we've got 10 guys in the Series 1 slalom. That was a 7.0. We're just correcting that down for Rob Groen.
So Robbie's going to need, that was a 7.0. He's going to need a 5.4 here or better, huh?
5.4 better on the backside.
And he pops the handle on the start.
Oh, my goodness. He popped the handle back deep. Hopefully they'll turn around maybe and give him a second go at that, but something definitely went wrong. They're talking about it. We're hoping the boat's going to turn around and go back to get Robbie Groen, but he popped the handle in the back deep. He's in the water at the end, hoping that the boat will realize, hey, didn't quite get the pull I needed, but it all depends on what the decision is in the boat. It's a highly contested division here. This could make the difference between, whether any more skiers go or not.
Yeah, I know. It's well, here's the thing. We did hear 12.4,
that
but
boat is taking off down the lake, and unfortunately, Rob Groen, it looks like he's going to live with a 7.0 for his redo pass.
Yeah, that's
which means that Don Schwartz would claim the 8th position now.
Well, he had that 8th position because the 12. Remember, we had the 12-3 tie at 8 for Gordy Croteau and Robbie Groen. That was a ski-off situation that disappeared with Don Schwartz's 12.4. But that 12.4 was a provisional score. We don't see that up posted yet, so you never know. I mean, it is a situation where if the judges saw something there that they wanted to reduce the score for Don Schwartz, it would really make things interesting. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what are you thinking? Are we gonna? Is that we don't
I'm not
see
too
Gordy
sure. It
Coteau
looks
anywhere
like
there?
Dan Baumgartner's down there in the dock. Dan Baumgartner was sitting up there with a pretty substantial fourth place at 13.5. Not sure if he's just deciding whether to ski or not, but if he's going to go out again with a solid 13.5.
Yeah, he's skiing. I saw him looking at the boat crew and pointing up to the top of the super fly high, telling him where to put that rope. So I think Danny is committed to going for a ride here. I don't know. Maybe
that's a strange move, I would say, to put your finals at risk there. But he's confident he's going to blast out a good run.
we got Robbie Groen communicating with the boat crew, having a discussion. So let's see what they decide to do here. He might be explaining what he felt in the poll and lobbying that it wasn't what he had asked for. So hold on to your hats. This isn't over until it's over. So there's some dialogue going on.
I can see, I think, Bevan Kelly down there. You were asking about him earlier. He's definitely going to be going again.
Yeah, he's the guy that I see out of this whole gang that's going to benefit the most. Bevan Kelly at an 8, that does not do his talent level any justice there. He's a guy that could be up at 15, more like in the 3rd spot.
Yeah. Who's this? Where's Fred going? Did we pass him up yet? No, he's after Dan Baumgartner.
If he decides, I don't see him up there yet.
I think he probably goes. Anyway, looks like a little discussion down on the dock. We're going to have Dan Baumgartner up next. After that, we're possibly going to see Fred Groen. Had a fall off and poor run of a 8.4 in the first go around. So we'll probably see Fred hit the water.
Yeah, I see Gordy Coteau down there with a wetsuit in his hands, circling the dock like a shark. Where's he at? We haven't come up to his slot yet.
No, I haven't come up to his. Haven't come up to Doug Jordan. Haven't come up to Bevan Kelly. I guess this is the reason why Dan Baumgartner's thinking I better go again. There's a few guys here that could improve their scores. I am in 4th, but he's probably done the calculations, and potentially he could get pushed down to 9th or 10th. So he's probably making a good move here to go out in the water again.
And if you look at the water, there aren't any conditions better than skiing a top-notch score here. It's just flat out there. So, that's also a factor. Look at the water conditions. I mean, these are pristine. The water certainly isn't going to come into play. This is going to work in your favor to go out and ski on this.
Yeah, so here we are. Looks like maybe some discussions are ensuing about Rob Groen's start. Once that clears up, we'll know what the next move is.
Yeah, I did recognize. I saw Fred Groen over there on the dock putting on his wetsuit. So I think we're gonna have a full cast of characters. Anybody close to feeling like they're under pressure to not make it, it looks like they're going to opt to ski here. We're going to have I think a full turnout of guys that are just under the cut or around that cutoff point.
Yeah, I guess if you roll up the list, you're probably going to find that almost every one of these guys is potentially going to do better.
Well, wait a minute. What did we have earlier for Don Schwartz in the first round? He was 8.8. So you know what? Take a look at this, folks. We post the score for Don Schwartz. We thought was a 12.4, comes in at an 11.4. 11.4.
Yeah.
So you know what? That would have given Robbie Groen and Gordy Coteau still the ski off spot for getting in. So they would both be tied for 8. So
well, yeah, we heard it coming out of the boat preliminary score of a 12.4 for Don. Looks like that's not the case. It came out of the judges' scoring booth as 11.4.
Okay.
Looks like Robbie Groen is getting a reride after some discussions with the boat crew. So, yeah, as we've seen a number of times, the scores go into the scores area. A slight adjustment occurs, and that's what occurred here with the Don Schwartz score listed now as a 11.4. We're still looking at trying to get an update on Marcel Brunet's score, his original score of 7.2. We're not getting that updated yet, so maybe they're still looking at that preliminary score.
Yeah, we're with Don Schwartz score. With Marcel Brunet, you're saying we haven't seen he skied a 7.2. We haven't gotten his second pass look much better. I don't know that it was enough to crack that 12.3. What did we have, Matt? Did we get a provisional on?
The provisional for Marcel was 11.8.
Yeah,
so we're just waiting to get a confirmation on that.
In wake slalom, you typically don't see points added. There's, if anything, it's subtraction. But for tricks, it's kind of different. We've seen points added today under review. There's, I think, a lot just because of the speed of the event. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
You don't catch everything. But for wake slalom, kind of a different game with the judging. Usually, the scores stay where they are. The provisionals, or they might get adjusted down a little bit. So right now, it's, as I mentioned, Robbie Groen is going to ski his second pass, but he was in a ski-off situation with Gordy Croteau, and now he's going to opt to take his second one. What did he have on his first pass, Richard?
He got a 7 on the first run, so it looks as though I'm going to say that maybe all of these skiers are going to opt to do their redo run. Even the guys that are shoe-ins, because they're going to want to increase their overall. But here's Robbie Groen up outside the wake, Team New Zealand cheering him on. Here he is, cutting out, going across for number 1. There's number 2, looked okay. Number 3, is it clean?
4.
Number 4, we're not sure. Here's number 5. And across for 6. Time looks like it went at 7.
Yeah.
Couple of questionable ones there, but that would be a total of 14.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good myself. I thought he did a pretty good job getting the foot up and skiing it out. I think he's definitely moved himself up, taking some of the pressure off being on the bubble here. Looking at probably more, he might be as high, I guess, definitely not as high as Jim Nyberg, but I think he might have put himself ahead of Danny Bumgardner into the 4 spot. So
it's possible. We'll have to wait and see what the I think that's a run for me that is going to be clear when it comes out of the scoring area.
So what that would do there, that would push Gordy Croteau out as of right now, but I see Gordy down there with his gear, so Gordy's going to want to get out there and try to raise his score as well and make it into the finals. But, I think that solidified Robbie moving up and really getting in a really nice position. Okay,
so that's a 13.5 for Rob Groen, preliminary score. He bumped himself up from 12.3. That's a 13.5. He's tied with Dan Baumgartner's original score.
Yep.
Puts him in a right now sort of tie for 5th place or 4th place.
Yeah, that's a 4th, 5th ski off. But you know what? Here's Danny Baumgartner in the water right now. He knows William Farrell's going to come out and ski. He knows Bevan Kelly's going to come out and ski. Gordy Croteau's going to come out. So, yeah, it's the back's against the wall here yet. There's guys that had some hard luck this morning that know they can get it done. They're 15, 16 plus skiers, and Danny's if he's gonna be out of this, he wants it to be under his control, not somebody else's. So he's choosing to take the big boy road and ski it rather than back in. So here's Danny Baumgartner, re-ride round. Here we go, optional re-ride round. Pass number 1, Danny Baumgartner.
So Danny's probably going to come in and I imagine the front pass, not going to do a provisional turn. But, yeah, he's snapping the rope down. He's coming in nice and low. There's 1 cross on 1 foot. Number 2, cross for number 3. He's going fast. Here's number 4, cross for 5. There's number 6, number 7. He looks like he's getting 8. He's got an 8-2.
Yeah, that's a great run for a guy that put up a 13.5 score to get, positioned here coming out of the preliminaries, and an 8. That's a solid 8 right there that we just saw, and to bump up his score, it would need a 6 or better, and that's with an easy striking distance for Danny Bumgarner.
Yeah, that provisional score out of the boat there was 8.2. Looked really clean. I don't think that would change when it comes out of the house, but so 8.2, definitely a good score for Dan Baumgartner. He's looking at getting in the 15s perhaps.
So we're already seeing an improvement there. Danny's first pass earlier today was an 8.0, so he's already added 0.2. And where he really struggled in his score was his second pass. He had, it was a 5.5, so that Danny can easily ski better than that. He should really have an excellent chance at improving his score here with the re-ride.
Yeah, I think most of these guys, the backside was maybe the one that threw them a little bit on the different rope. So they're going to be, if you get somebody that improves their front pass like Dan, you'll probably see him improve his back pass drastically and really make a change. There's Dan Baumgartner into the leg rolling over, back pass. We've got Fred Groen going to be coming up next. There's Dan up in the back deep, outside the wake. Just going to need a nice solid run, nice and clean. There he goes for 1, nice and high. Number 2, no doubt on these. Here's cross for 3, cross for 4. Here's number 5. He's got 6. He's ahead of the game from the first run. He's got about a 6.2. Might have been a touch for a 6.1.
But that's going to be an improvement. He stalled out a little bit on 6 coming up the wake and heard the alarm, but 8.2 plus 6 is 14 and change, and that's definitely better than what he had on the board earlier. So Danny's got to be pretty happy with what he just skied.
No, he'll be look to be bumping it up from his 13.5. Good decision for Dan Baumgartner to get back out there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be enough to overtake Jim Nyberg's 14.8, but it's definitely going to give him some room. I think he's going to hold on to that 4 spot, probably a little better than Robbie Groen than what we saw there. So my guess right now would be Danny will bump up his score and make it just a little more comfortable there at the 4 slot. And
we got no signal again here on our feed. Looking at our